episode of Super Deluxe Gamescast. It is Thursday, December 19th, 1 week before Christmas, just about, right? Like, was it 6 days?
Christmas is Wednesday.
Shit? Yeah. We're getting down to the
Oh,
wire.
damn it. I was going to fake a fucked up voice, and I didn't. I was going to do the RFK voice for a minute.
So
after my voice has steadily gotten worse episode after episode the last couple weeks.
right off the bat, I don't think we're doing a show next week, are we?
I don't know. It's not Christmas.
Day after Christmas?
It is the day after Christmas. I don't know.
It is the day after Christmas.
We'll see how we're all doing and feeling. We'll see how we're doing. If there's not going to be a show, there might be a stream. We'll figure something out.
Maybe I might stream some shit. Who knows?
We'll figure it out.
There's got to be some kind of SDGC content.
There it is.
That's really good.
Let us know how
really
Operation Dorito is coming along.
That's really fucking good.
I found some wild mushrooms in the forest. Now I'm fucking sitting with the Smurfs.
Jesus Christ. Oh, Derek. Wow. You are really something. So as is our annual SDC tradition, last week our good buddy Sam Tolbert, talented journalist. Sam, how many years in a row have we been watching the Game Awards with you? Like
2016, I think.
Right. So it's been
8 years.
But like what, 8 fucking years, Sam? 8 years of tradition.
8 years. 8 years of Keeleys. Think about that.
8 years of the Keeleys. 10 years of the Keeleys, but 8 years of us roasting them.
Exactly.
And I got to tell you. So the meat and potatoes of tonight's show is going to be talking about the Game Awards last week and what we thought. And I got to tell you, this was one of the stronger Game Awards, both in format and in what was presented. The awards themselves are still an afterthought. Let's not pull any punches, right? Like the awards themselves are still a complete afterthought. Like, and a really good example of this is the fucking accessibility in games award, which was just one of those. It was one of those sidebar awards, right? And I feel like this is something that Jeff could really use to highlight an ongoing problem in the industry that is slowly getting fixed. But no, we keep on shunting that one off to the side. There's no future class this year.
No, future class is done. Are you kidding me? After
that's over?
After they had the gall to make demands, along the lines of the reasons why they were selected in the first place. No, absolutely not.
Yeah, so none of that. There was a call out to layoffs. Jeff actually 4 years after the fact started talking about layoffs, and I guess better late than never.
We can let's not get too. We kind of launched immediately into Game Awards discussion, and
that's what we're talking about, Derek.
Well, yeah, but what we've been playing.
I mean, I've been playing Okami.
What about the rest of us, man?
What about the shit about you?
I do.
John, are you sure you want to say that about me right now?
Yes.
I might believe it.
Derek,
I'm sorry.
What the fuck have you been playing, Derek?
John, I'm playing one of the same things you've been playing, which is Fantasian Neo Dimension.
Yeah, we're going to review it tomorrow.
We're going to review it tomorrow. I can't believe you would skip over what we've been playing. This is like, what world did I wake up in where, John, I know you go off the script, but man, you were just like, fuck the whole first third of the show.
Fuck it, dude. You know what? Rules are like bones, man. I'm going to fucking
you
break
need them. Rules are like bones. I have over 200 of them, I think.
Yeah, and I'll break every single fucking one of them.
I had more when I was younger.
What have you been playing, Derek?
I've been playing Fantasian Neo Dimension, which I think I talked about 2 weeks ago. I had literally just started it and just played the first hour. At this point, John, you've beaten it. Right?
I have finished it,
and I'm getting in there. I'm not going to beat it by time of review, but I've put a good amount of time into it. So.
I'm not quite as high on it at the end as I was at the beginning.
Yeah, I think
it's still a good game.
That was my emotional arc with it, right? As I played it, and my first feeling was just like the overwhelming nostalgia blow of like, oh fuck, this is what it feels like to be John, right? And have like games come out that cater to his specific RPG nostalgia of the Super Nintendo era.
Yeah.
This was like, here's a PS1 era Final Fantasy. And I really loved it. I think like battle mechanically, it's very interesting. I like the Dimension, which is this like mechanic that lets you stockpile random encounters.
I thought that was okay.
You also didn't use it much, I think you said. Versus I never turned it off, and I loved it because I loved stockpiling like 30 enemies worth of random encounters all at once and just throwing them all out there. And because a lot of your abilities in Fantasian are area of effect or like carve through a line, you can that's one of the big gimmicks in battle, right? Is that you work out the spacing and placement of enemies with attacks that take up space. So when you get 30 enemies, and you get like a field of like 20 where enemies die and a few more pop in, you can just be so much more efficient with like it's basically a grinding like shortcut in a lot of ways due to the way that area of effect works in the game. It's not a way to eliminate grinding, it's a way to take some of the friction out, and I appreciate that.
It's a way to consolidate grinding.
Yes, consolidate's a good word for it. But I liked Uematsu's score is fantastic. I don't know why you would ever replace it with Final Fantasy tracks like as an option in the game. That's a sin to me. Just do the new Uematsu score. I think there's something very refreshing about going back to a Sakaguchi style plot and characters, because you get like a cast of characters who are very arch and very readable and very recognizable as soon as you meet them, who have good, obvious dynamics, right? The old captain and the young whippersnapper inventor thief kid butt heads a lot, and it's great. Stuff like that. I really like I don't want to talk too much about plot, but you were introduced to Vam the Malevolent as this
the plot is
based
the plot is very traditional JRPG.
Yeah, I mean it's old school Final Fantasy, right? Like down to some stuff's gonna pop up in the very last minute that's gonna be the actual. Am I right about that, John? That's just a guess, yes. But yeah, you're gonna get Cloud of Darkness, of course.
Vam the Malevolent is not the final boss.
No, but as a Golbezi type character, right? As the kind of like driving villain for a huge chunk of the game at least, or a Kuja type, right? Vam is immediately charismatic, immediately an interesting design, somebody who has motives.
He's immediately Vincent from Final Fantasy VII.
A little bit, but with more arms and longer torso.
I mean, dude, come on. He is a direct, like, I looked at him and I was like, it's Vincent.
I think he looks more like Psaro in a lot of ways. From Dragon Quest IV, but
minus the silver hair. But
well, okay, you go like black hair, right? But like the pretty boy, long haired evil guy is such a RPG trope, right? Fantasian was just has been an interesting time so far. I do like it. It has I've waned on it some over time.
It doesn't do anything to, and again, I think it's a good game. I don't think it does anything. I think it's a good game. I don't think it's a remarkable game.
I don't know that any part of it narratively has hit the highs of like 7, 8, 9, right? Which are the games that immediately I want to compare it to because it's so in the tradition of PS1 Final Fantasy.
It is,
and I don't think it's hitting those highs yet.
Final Fantasy game.
But it's feeling like it would be the weakest of them if it had come out at the time. But I do still really like it. I think part of it is that the characters are fun and arch, but don't have as much of the actual like subtle depth that a lot of the PS1 era Final Fantasy characters had. Or looking back to like Lost Odyssey, which was the last big game, correct me if I'm wrong, that Mistwalker and Sakaguchi did. Lost Odyssey, in a way, like Lost Odyssey felt like the Final Fantasy XI that never existed, And
I don't. I mean, obviously that's the one with Final Fantasy. Fucking
Guy
Johnny
Fieri.
Garlic.
Yeah, Johnny Garlic.
Yeah. but
yeah, Fantasian is. I think it's really interesting. I think folks who are really into the PS1 era of like Japanese RPGs, I think it's a no-brainer. I think if you like Japanese RPGs in general, like it's a really good one. I just went in feeling like it was an all-timer on my first impression, and I've gone back to maybe like an 8 out of 10 area in the time since.
What I will say is this. I will say, if you came to me and you said, John, I have a choice. I can spend my money on Neo Fantasian or I can spend my money on Dragon Quest 3 HD 2D. I would definitively tell you to spend your money on Dragon Quest 3 HD 2D.
Well, that's not really fair because it's Dragon Quest 3. Like,
right. But what I'm saying is like the reason I'm saying is that it's a good game. But if you are pressed for money, there are better RPG options out there for you right now.
I can see that. I think there's folks who just don't like the. I mean, we're talking about like one of my criticisms of Fantasian is that the characters are a little more arch than I'd like them to be, and a little bit less like subtle and fully realized as I would like, at least.
Well, you've got the plucky young hero. You've got you've got the girl who is like he's got her high pitched voice and she's very like I don't know.
I think there's fun character dynamics, but it comes across a little closer to like a Tales cast,
it's tropey,
than a Final Fantasy cast.
Good comparison. You've got your old Grison, like I'm the old guy, you know, and I'm big and old. But like, basically, like
if that's one of my main criticisms of Fantasian, right, and that's like a problem for people that they want more developed and more subtle characters, like Dragon Quest 3 is not going to do that for them. Dragon Quest 3 is Dragon Quest 3. So there's room for headcanons. It does kind of feel sometimes like Fantasian sometimes feels like its own fan fiction. I'm going to be honest with you.
I'll also tell you this. The main character, Leo, is the most fucking Nier Automata ass design I've like.
I didn't know that was a boy at first either. I was like,
that motherfucker walked and then I was like, out of Nier Automata. Wait, I'm sorry, Derek. How did that go?
I said I didn't realize Leo was a boy at first, so I was like, then I realized it was a boy, and I was like,
so you gave double duck face then? Is what you're saying.
a little bit.
Derek, this is going to be relevant to our conversation later, but I've been replaying Okami.
Yes. I want to do that soon because
yeah.
It remains an almost perfect video game. It is top to bottom. That everything about Okami.
I think the beginning can drag as it gets established.
Not for me. You're fucking wrong, bitch.
I think it can, but I think once you get to
I don't think it can, Derek. I think, you know what? I think you can drag a little bit. You don't hear me fucking
once you get to the first dungeon, the game is just, it does not stop hitting.
Yeah, you know what, dude? I'm not going to stop hitting you if you don't stop shitting all over Okami. So
Okami is one of my favorite games, like, ever. I got to tell you, I've told you about my experience with Okami and the title.
Derek, this is my turn to talk.
Sorry, you're right.
This is my turn to talk.
You're right, buddy.
Yeah, come on, Derek. What the fuck, dude?
You're right.
I'm just kidding.
You're really juicy tonight, dude. What's going on?
I am. No, I just
you're a little saucy,
Derek,
bud.
No, but here's the thing. Here's the thing, Derek. I'm riding the fucking high of knowing that the story of Amaterasu is not going to end, and we're gonna get into this later, but the more I play Okami, the more I think about the fact that we're getting more, and we're getting more Kami, and I'm so anyway. We're gonna talk about that later. Okami remains a video game among video games. To this day,
might be my favorite Zelda game.
It's definitely the fucking best. It's definitely the fucking best. What's this in chat? You can tell John has spent a lot of time around the queer as folk because he's caught a case of the sassy. So here's the thing, Dorian. Here's the thing. I'm a fucking asshole. I'm an asshole. I'm just your asshole. If that makes any sense.
I don't like that phrase.
I'm not literally your asshole, but I am your asshole. I'm an ass. Here, you know what? Maybe this. You know
Keep
what?
going.
Here,
Please
I'm gonna rephrase
proceed,
it.
Governor.
No. No, I'm going to rephrase it. I am an asshole for you.
You are the people's asshole.
I am the community. No, I'm not an asshole for all the people. I am an asshole for our community. I am an asshole for the SDGC community. I'm your asshole, right? Because I regurgitate all this shit anyway. None of that makes any sense. Anyway, Okami's fucking awesome. If you have not played Okami, go fucking play, because Okami, in my opinion, is the apex of Hideki Kamiya's genius. And I consider it to be his finest game. And it is also one of the most poetic and beautiful games you will ever play. And I know it's a PS2 game, but the art style of that game still fucking sings.
The art's great, and it's also on sale on everything. Right now.
It's so cheap.
Like fucking
it's like
$5.
Yeah, it's like $5 on everything. So you have no
go
excuse.
fucking buy it. If you Sam.
It's incredible because it says you're just buying Okami for $5. But
listen to wise Sam.
Yeah.
Wise Sam Tolbert. Go spend $5 on fucking Okami. It will be the greatest. To this day, if they re-released Okami HD, like if we were just now getting it and it hadn't come out years ago on everything like outside of a fucking toaster, I would spend full price on Okami HD. It's that fucking
and
good.
it's crazy because they
3D
bundle
Zelda.
Okami 2 and 3 with it. Like
yeah, absolutely.
Okami. I remember beating the first chunk of it.
That's not the end.
Yeah, and being like, this was a really solid Zelda-like, and then they drop the title screen and go, enjoy the rest of the game. This was the intro, and I was like, oh.
Yeah.
And then they
that?
proceeded to fake you
you're
out with
just
the
in
ending multiple times after that. Like,
Yeah.
I kept thinking, this is the end of, like, just masterful narrative design. I love Okami so much.
And we are gonna get into our love of Okami in a little bit. But that's what I've been playing. Aside from that, I've been grinding out shit in Final Fantasy 14. Derek, you and I did some unsynced hard dungeon runs yesterday, where I just basically ran in front of you and annihilated everything.
It was incredibly funny to watch. You were correct,
Sam. So we were playing Final Fantasy 14 last night, and Derek
we just wanted to get through
much
hard versions of a bunch of dungeons I've already beaten. That I didn't have.
But we were running it unsynced, and so
which means
like,
John
I'm
was level
100,
100 and I'm level 50, and the dungeon's for level 50s.
And so I'm just running through annihilating everything, and I'm literally like, I'm running up to enemies, and I'm like, no, Derek, watch this drive. And then I just fucking annihilate everything.
I'm so glad I brought watch this drive back in the group parlance because but yeah, it was a funny time. Also, like, a great way to help grind through some content that I was not having an easy time getting matches with, right? To actually do it. And it wasn't going to be meaningful content, and like, I haven't been feeling good. I haven't had the energy to do real FF14. So like, it was a good way to kind of like, here, now there's a little less on the plate when I get back.
You know what, Errol? Okamiden needs a fucking re-release.
Okamiden? Yeah.
Okamiden. Yeah, it's a good fucking game. It's not Okami, but it's a good fucking game. Sam.
Yeah.
Before we get into the Game Awards, what the fuck are you playing, Sam?
So I've been playing a couple of different things. The main thing I was playing right before the Game Awards was Indiana Jones and the Great Circle, which is
so fuck. I've been playing.
Speaking
that too.
about
So
killing
fucking
Nazis.
good. Yeah. So look, it's just a phenomenal experience. I wrote up my thoughts long form. I wrote our review, but like, it's a darn good game, and it's the real fourth indie movie. That's what this feels genuinely like, an Indiana Jones movie that just got lost to time. It was somehow never released, and now it's out there. Troy Baker, like, I have to give him his flowers. I have to tip my hat. He does an absolutely...
He does a good Harrison Ford, man.
Because the thing is, it's not just the voice, right? He gets all the small, the quirks, the ticks, the little mannerisms. He gets all those small things right. And the thing
he's a really good actor. I gotta give him that. No, he's a bit of an asshole, but he's a really good actor.
When Troy Baker has a great director to work with and like a great animation team, he can pull off one hell of a performance, and that's what he does here.
Yes, he can. Yes, he can.
And so it's a great game. It's a great adventure game. It's not just like, it's a first person game, but it's not a mindless first person shooter by any stretch of the imagination. I think I went like,
it's machine
I
gun.
pulled my
hours.
gun out like twice. I pulled my gun out maybe twice in 20 hours.
I went all of the Vatican section without pulling my revolver out.
Not once.
At all, because
Not
it
once.
just it wasn't a good idea. And like I'm not gonna quite say it's like Dishonored, but it's up there. Like there's some MSim DNA in it.
Derek
honestly.
or Sam, you are not the only person to make that comparison, and I think it's mostly apt. There is more stealth in this game than I had anticipated.
Oh yeah.
And now I do have my only real criticism of the game, Sam, and I'll be interested to see what you think about this. Is I felt like the Vatican dragged on a little longer than it should have.
I can see that. I think, but
I was
also,
ready to leave. Like I was ready to leave the Vatican. I was like, all right. Let's
the
go.
thing about it as well is that pacing is always a hard thing to judge when there's side objectives, because are people doing all of them?
It's not their fault if you do every single piece of side content before doing the next. Right.
Are you like me and you spend 30 minutes running around going, where is this Nazi uniform or fascist uniform I'm supposed to find? Oh, it's right there. And the game was telling me that's my bad. Yeah. I'm done. So I see what you're saying. I do think that any pacing quibbles you might have definitely go away the moment you get to Giza in Egypt. There it's just
so
sailing from there.
Giza is so cool that I'm at the same point that I was in Baldur's Gate 3, that I don't want the game to end just because I love Giza so much.
I get it.
It looks good
too.
Not only that, but it feels like Raiders of the Lost Ark. It feels like Raiders of the Lost Ark. Like barring the beginning of the game, which is literally the opening of Raiders of the Lost Ark. To a T, they even got fucking it looks like fucking Alfred Molina at the beginning. It's Derek, have you played Indiana Jones?
No, not yet.
It's the literal opening of Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Remember, I've been dying since it came out, so
okay, that's right.
We don't want you to do that. That's bad.
No.
So Derek, I owned it on Steam, and now you own it on Steam too, because we're family members on Steam. So Derek, I'm telling you right now, Indiana Jones and the Great Circle. Sam is 100% correct.
It's on my to-do list.
It is fuck Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. This is the fourth indie movie. This is the indie movie that we deserved. Now, the Indiana Jones franchise is my favorite film franchise, and I've spoken about this at length multiple times. And this is the fourth indie movie that I always wanted, and we always deserved. We didn't get it. I'll never forget. I was in fucking Afghanistan when King and the Crystal Skull came out, and I was so psyched, and I got a bootleg copy at the market. And I was like, oh fuck yeah! I was like, I'm gonna go watch. I was in the middle of fucking Afghanistan, at the foot of the Hindu Kush, and I'm gonna fucking watch Kingdom of the Crystal Skull in my trailer, and it's fucking. Hey, okay, I want to address fucking Paris in chat here real quick. All right, listen up, Paris. One of my fucking traps is the literal size of your biceps, okay? My arms have more smoke than a month's worth of your fucking barbecue. All right? Get the fuck out of my chat with that shit, Paris. Go to the gym. Why are you in chat at all, Paris? Go to the gym. You should be at the fucking gym. Take some fucking protein, man. You're not on my fucking level, dude.
John's over here. With his fucking Cobra hood. I
got the fucking Paris. You don't have the fucking Cobra hood. I do. I'm the proud owner of the fucking Cobra hood.
Oh Lord,
Paris over here.
Oh.
In all seriousness, despite Paris not spending a fucking minute of his time at the gym, despite Paris not being able to cook, despite all of this shit, I still love Paris. I actually do. I love you, pal. We actually had back in the days of Twitter, when we were all still on Twitter, somebody was like, "Man, these two hate each other." And it's like, no, we're actually quite friendly. We're actually friends. We're relax, man. It's a bit. Calm down. It's a fucking bit. Relax.
As if me and you weren't going at each other just a few minutes ago, right? Sometimes friendships can be that way.
Derek, phrasing, Derek, phrasing.
Well, we didn't look. Is our account banned?
No, it's actually super cool to see Paris in chat here. Love you, buddy. No, but yeah, no, dude. Sam, I'm in lockstep with you. Indiana Jones is a fucking masterpiece, and if this doesn't sell, then I don't have any faith in consumers whatsoever.
Yeah, go buy it. Go play it. Go play it and buy it. Just it is
Both of
if
those
you need
things.
something. Yeah, but both of those things, all those things. It's just, dude. I was in love the moment I was in the Vatican and I was sneaking around. I didn't have a melee weapon, and a fascist comes around the corner, and I picked up an apple, and instead of
I remember
eating
you
it,
talking.
yeah, I threw it. Yeah, I mentioned this in chat, and I got an achievement for bonking him on the head with it. I was just like, yeah, I'm in love. They get it. And speaking of which, I love all the different like almost Looney Tunes ass animations for like picking up a shovel or a broom or anything you can get
Yeah.
your hands on, just walloping guys right over the head. Just it doesn't get old. It's fantastic. Yeah, go play Indiana Jones.
Yeah, no, and like every time I fuck up in Indiana Jones, I could just hear his dad speaking to me in Sean Connery's voice, like, I should have mailed it to the Marx Brothers. Like every time you fuck up in this game, it's your fault. It's your fault you fucked up. Absolutely brilliant fucking game. I hope this fucking sells. Sam, you got anything else you want to talk about in regards to indie before we move on to the Game Awards?
There's a lot of things I want to say, but more than anything, just go play it. Like anything else I want to say is kind of veering into
If
spoiler
you play
territory.
it, you'll find out.
Sam, we can say this though. When it comes to beating the shit out of fucking Nazis, there's no better developer to do it than fucking Machine Games.
I respect the hell.
There's a lot of things you can do with a hatchet and a Nazi.
This group of Swedes, kind, loving, wonderful people, have decided that it is their life's mission to make different games where you beat up Nazis in different ways. And
I will buy every
I
single
respect
one.
the hell out of it. I respect the
Every
hell
single
out
one.
of it. It's a
single
good
one.
life mission.
You do not need to ask permission to beat the shit out of a Nazi. It should be legal to just walk up to a Nazi on the street and beat the fucking shit out of that person.
Again, I gotta bring
I'll just say it now.
I'm bringing that GI robot energy into 2025, motherfuckers.
See, I still don't really know what the fuck that means because I haven't seen Creature
Friend
Commandos.
John, when will we get to kill Nazis?
But you don't ask permission, you just fucking do it. That's my opinion. I don't care if it gets us fucking banned from Twitter or Twitch or whatever Twitch, whatever. I've had 2 old fashions. I'm over the hill.
We can
tell,
tell, man.
All right.
Continue, John.
Have I been insulted?
Game Awards.
No, it's not.
John,
an
tell me
insult.
about the Winter Keeleys 2024.
The Winter Key. All right, so let's start off with this. I think we can all agree that I think this is a stronger showing that we've had in the past several years. I still consider the DICE Awards to be the actual Game Awards.
Yeah, the DICE Awards are fucking incredible, and I put a lot more
the
stock
DICE
into.
Awards. I put much more stock into the DICE Awards, like the award portion, than I do. I mean, the Game Awards is Winter E3.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what it is,
well.
right?
Sam, I would mention the BAFTAs.
Quick question,
The
Sam.
BAFTAs as well, yeah.
Is somebody who tunes into the show with some regularity? Is this normally what it's like watching me? 2 drinks in, 3 drinks in.
No, it's different. Actually,
It's a different energy.
It's a different energy.
I'm kind of
It's not
vibing
the
with
energy
it.
you have now, but it's a different energy.
I'm kind of vibing with it.
Hey, look at that. We got a fucking journalist in chat. Check out Grant Stoner over here.
Yeah, like I said, these are not awards. Like the awards themselves, the fact that so many of them are relegated to the pre-show sucks. They will burn through them in rapid fire. Many of the categories will not get the opportunity for a presentation.
Hey, real quick, Derek, because I would be remiss to mention it. Grant wrote a very, very good article on accessibility. I think it was on IGN. I read it earlier today. You should go fucking read it.
Yeah. I mean, anything Grant writes, to be honest with you.
Grant is the fucking definitive voice when it comes to accessibility.
Well, and honestly, I just like on anything he writes. I'm quite a fan of his voice. I agree. Like, it's not awards, it's advertisements. The one thing that felt really good in terms of the awards section, it felt really good when Sven from Larian got to go up for the we were bringing that up earlier, Grant, that accessibility.
We were bringing that up, Grant, and we're gonna bring it up. We're gonna revisit it. We're gonna revisit it. I kind of went off script, but
the only thing about the awards part that I felt really good about was having Sven from Larian get up to do Game of the Year and get to give a pretty pointed and much sharper criticism of the like greed and short-sightedness of corporate executives in the gaming industry. And it's clear that probably was, I don't know that that was cleared.
Derek, so here's the thing. I agree, but that guy is also part of the problem. I'll just go ahead and fucking say it.
Yeah, we can talk about this some off show, but like it's complicated. But
it was a good message.
Yes,
it was a good message.
It was a good message. I'm not a fan of the deliverer. Let's say that.
Okay. But yeah. After Jeff gave, as you mentioned, kind of a mealy-mouthed, like at least he brought up the fact that like layoffs
4 fucking years late, and that's the thing, Derek. So hold on, I got something I want to say
that,
about
but
this.
also said, oh, we can disagree about the causes, and it's like, buddy, no, we can't. It's painfully evident. Like,
there's fucking Cam in chat. Everybody's in chat tonight. It's like fucking Smash Brothers. Everyone is here. Fucking Cam, if you want to be on, all you gotta do is let me know. Everybody's giving Jeff all this fucking credit for mention, but he gets no fucking credit for me.
Yeah.
Because he could have said this shit 3 fucking years ago.
It's too little, too late.
3 fucking years ago. And he didn't. He didn't fucking do it. And the only reason he's doing it now is because people have pressured him for 3 fucking years to actually say something. So he gets no fucking credit from me, dude. Like, fuck Jeff Keighley, man. Like, he's a disingenuous fucking hack. All right.
In the same vein,
that's what he is.
We had that segment of the lovely gentleman whose name I've forgotten. But who,
Amir.
Yes, Amir. I don't know his last name because I only know his first name because it's all you said. But this gentleman said, was being highlighted for his work in helping connect like laid off, out of work gaming industry people with, new work, new positions. And that's wonderful work. Like, what a saint of a man. At the same time, it's a little bit like reading about like how all of the workers at Taco Bell scringe their savings up to buy a car for the one of them who walks to work. It's like, this is heartbreaking. Like, the system that causes this problem is still here. A little boy should not have to open a lemonade stand to pay for his mom's cancer treatments. Like, that's not heartwarming to me. That is a heartbreaking story about the system failing and somebody with a truly beautiful heart being, in a lot of ways, exploited as a stopgap. That's how it feels. And of course, that's as Zach Davis in chat brings up, like it's a shield, right? It's a way, bringing these subjects up to the extent that he did is only a way to say, see, we gave lip service to it. So stop criticizing us and buy our project.
Here's the thing, though. So Rar just addressed a bit of this in chat. So others have raised, and I'm quoting from Aftermath here, which is a really good site. You guys should go check it out. Amir is positioning himself as some sort of expert, some sort of #1 Google search result for games, jobs, resources that provides exclusive perks and funnels viewers to other people's blogs. Most of whom charge for paid speaking gigs, coaching, and career optimization. TJ also positioned Amir as some guy who just felt really bad for everyone, some fan of games who saw this tragedy and felt they needed to do something to address it. And while, he's being paraded in front of the people who fired everyone, he's at least doing something. Except Amir is, surprise, part of the same crowd. Amir finds game companies for Tencent to acquire after coming from Amazon Games. He's not some random guy. He's part of a multi-billion-dollar multinational super corporation. And that's really fucking disappointing.
Yeah. Love that. Love that. See, even the
don't learn about your heroes.
Yeah. The child opening the lemonade stand also works for the fucking chemotherapy company. Like,
Turns
I
out
don't know.
that guy's job is literally to find companies for 10 cents.
Well, I'm reading from an update that he's just an investment. He's not in acquisitions, but like he's too close to that stuff. He's too close to it.
Yeah.
That puts a wrinkle in the entire heartwarming story that I already said is not enough, right? So
Oh, Jeff. You like I'm sorry, man. Like I find the whole thing so fucking disingenuous.
it's so funny
do
when
not
someone
believe-
who's not me is on a roll like this. I love it.
I do not believe that Jeff Keighley actually gives a shit about anybody who's been laid off. I do not believe that Jeff Keighley actually
No, he comes
gives a
from
shit
Capital. He
about
comes
fucking,
from Capital, and he works for
I don't.
Capital.
He's
and he upholds.
plus he looks like
Capital.
and he dresses like a fucking
Oh my god, dude!
Bond
where
villain.
is the fucking social media menswear guy? Please go after Jeff Keighley if you haven't already. God, what a horrible
man
suit!
needs- Yeah.
That was the
But
one
that
of the
being
worst.
said, all that being said,
the advertisements
there
were
still
really
were
good.
There still were some very pleasant surprises at the Game Awards this year.
Fucking hate
start
this.
off. I want to start off with something that I called immediately, and Derek said I was wrong. So he was like, no. We cut to an ancient Japanese countryside with some dilapidated houses. Looks like a little bit of a swamp, and I said, man,
Oh yeah,
I think this is Onimusha. And Derek was like, no,
I just couldn't
no,
bring
no.
myself to believe that
He was
we
like,
were getting
no,
Onimusha.
that's not Onimusha. And then we saw the little red orbs, and Derek's like, I was like, no, this is Onimusha. And he's like, no, it's not Onimusha.
I was like, I
And I'm
refuse
like,
to believe it.
They're gonna get sucked into a fucking gauntlet.
And
And
sure the
and,
fuck was.
and Derek, were those red orbs sucked into a fucking
They
gauntlet?
sure were, buddy. They sure were, and they sure did drop us an Onimusha title screen.
On Onimusha, Way of the Sword.
Yeah.
Now, Capcom is on a fucking roll with
Yeah, let's
these-
just start with
these,
Capcom being the winner of the show, I feel like. Like,
Oh, yeah.
in terms of
Flexing,
what they
yeah.
brought.
flexing
it's
without
not
even
close.
bringing their big guns.
Yeah.
Like flexing without bringing without bringing Monster Hunter Wilds, and more importantly,
Yeah.
at this moment, without even bringing up Resident Evil.
Yeah.
So did you guys get big
Onimusha-
Dark Souls vibes from Onimusha, Way of the Sword?
Not strictly. I think the problem is that we've seen so many of these style of like slower action games be so specifically Souls likes that it's hard not to want to make that. Because if you see a game like that from almost anybody, your first thought is this is going to be a Dark Souls.
It kind of looks like it though.
And
it kind of looks
the
like it, though.
first big Dark Souls knockoff was Neo, right? Which went into that similar like Japanese, feudal aesthetic with some horror fantasy elements. What's interesting to me is I immediately clocked that, Kunitsugami was a tech demo for this then.
I can
right?
see that.
It's the same exact art direction.
Yes,
Like,
Kunitsugami
exactly.
is its own game, and it's not any kind of test bench for like gameplay. It's a completely different game. But it is impossible to see Kunitsugami get announced and released earlier this year, and then Onimusha get announced. And I think Onimusha's been in development for a bit. It has to have been, but it's
It
a ways
kinda
out.
seems like
it's
it,
a 2026 game. It's a bit out there. But it's clear that Kunitsugami was a way to kind of play with this visual aesthetic in the RE engine. And I think that's fascinating in a lot of ways. I almost hope it throws some attention back at Kunitsugami, which is a really good game.
I'm a little
people should
more
play.
bullish on the release. I think this is late 2025.
No, they
They
it
said
was
2026.
Like
Oh, did
said
they
that.
really?
Yeah, it was in
Oh,
the
yeah.
trailer.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they said
No, I
2026.
must have missed
can buy
that
that it's early 2026.
I think
can
it
buy
is.
that it's like
Capcom has
March
not
or
been showing
April.
stuff off, 2.5 years out. I think it's going to be
No,
early
no.
2026. The only game Capcom has shown off and talked about that has been like absurd amounts of time out is that Pragmata, and it's
Right.
only because it has kind of failed to come together, and they're just giving it time to find itself.
Now,
Yeah,
correct me if I'm wrong, but I do not think that protagonist is Samanosuke. I think we're dealing
It's
with
hard because
a new
it
protagonist
could be Samanosuke, but like it's a new actor. Well, it's an actual actor, right? That's giving the likeness instead of being because that's clearly they're going with like the mocapped style that they're doing with a lot of their games. So
what I want them to do is I really hope they keep that classic Onimusha like Resident Evil campiness, which is one of the things that made the Onimusha series just so special. I know that we're not going to get it, but I would love to see like fixed camera angles back. Like I know that's a pipe dream. I mean that's not going to happen.
The show. I mean the footage already shows us that's not happening. But
yeah,
I know. But yeah, like this is one of those announcements that I just I cannot believe that we got. And while we're on the subject of Capcom and while we're on the subject of game announcements, we did not believe we were ever going to get. So let's talk about the White Wolf in the Room.
Holy fucking shit, y'all!
Wow,
the Okami sequel. It's so funny because we all knew. Okay, well, this is like the big announcement, right? This is the crowd pleaser in a lot of ways. Other than like the new Naughty Dog game that we'll talk about.
Jeff, and I hate giving Jeff any credit, but he
properly
sold the shit out of that. And I agree with him.
It's funny that I went in thinking, based on the way he sold it, like, this is going to be Half-Life 3. And I walked away
what I thought too.
More excited than if it was Half-Life 3.
I legit thought we were about to get Half-Life 3.
It's crazy because watching that teaser over, it's so obvious that it's Okami from the beginning.
Because of the paint, like the way the trees faded.
Well,
I was like,
and the wolf and the... But the thing is...
Yeah.
There is, I think all of us simply had given up on the idea that Okami was ever going to see a new game. And it took literally the White Wolf like sprouting flames as the like motif played over top for all of us to immediately go, holy fuck, it's Okami.
Yeah, it's Okami. And like, because at first, Derek, when they started like, playing that Japanese style drum, I was like, oh God, he hyped up Ghost of Yotei like this, which I'm sure is going to be great, but you don't hype up Ghost of Yotei like this. And then all of us were just confused.
Well, see, a lot of people were saying something like that, and I was like, well, it's a new game, so it's not Ghost of Yotei. It's not going to be like I saw a bunch of people.
I think what got us is the fact that all of us knew, quote unquote, we knew that we were not getting an Okami sequel.
And we knew that if we ever did, it was not going to be like top billing with that big of a presentation.
Right.
Yeah. And to top it all off, we knew that Hideki Kamiya was not going to come back to
There's
Capcom
no world where that actually happened, and yet it... Now, to be clear, Hideki Kamiya is not actually directly employed by Capcom.
It's an independent team.
Clovers is an independent team that is just Kamiya's company. However... They're working with Capcom, and they're going to keep working with Capcom. Like, he wants to do multiple projects.
I still cannot believe that that's a fucking thing that actually...
This is one of those... insane.
This is one of those fucking shot in the dark, fucking like, God, wouldn't it be fucking great? This is like Half-Life 3 for fucking Zelda games.
Yeah. Also, can we just say...
it's going to happen one day, I promise.
Okami, that teaser... is one of the most masterfully edited and paced like teasers reveals.
It was really good.
Because they knew they wanted to draw it out, give you as much plausible deniability as possible until the exact moment that the music, you really see the White Wolf, the flames come in.
You see the flames come in on the disc.
And it becomes completely undeniable that yes, the thing you are thinking is true. This is Okami. Just Capcom can't miss, dude.
If we could get, and the thing is, I think this is a given. Beautiful Joe is going to
Beautiful Joe 3 is next. It's happening.
Like
it's happening.
Beautiful Joe is 100% going to follow.
Kamiya said, Capcom, I'll come back to you if you give me Okami 2 and Beautiful Joe 3. And he went back to Capcom and they gave him Okami 2. What do you think's next?
Now, here's the thing. If we can get a fucking Okami sequel, we can get a fucking Breath of Fire collection, Capcom. We can get a fucking Breath of Fire 7. We can get a Breath of Fire game that isn't a goddamn gacha game on mobile. We can get something that has to do with fucking Breath of Fire. Because I am sick and goddamn tired of waiting, Derek. Like, that is the one fucking franchise that Capcom has yet to fucking piss some life back into. And
it almost makes you wonder if there's a rights problem.
Like, we're gonna get fucking deep down before we get a fucking Breath of Fire 3 and 4 collection.
It's got to be a rights problem. It's all I can think of at this point. But
what would be the rights issue with Breath of Fire?
I don't know.
It's a fucking Capcom IP.
It's not that simple. If the creator of Breath of Fire, I've read like a tiny bit into Japanese copyright law. Because of Godzilla games, okay? Well, I'll be honest with you.
The creator, if somebody else owns the rights to Breath of Fire, Capcom, give them a fucking handy and get the rights back. Because I don't even give a shit about a sequel. I need an updated port of Breath of Fire 3 and 4 bundled together on modern consoles. That's all I ask.
Yeah.
The one thing that Capcom is missing is like a good old school JRPG style franchise. And their Breath of Fire fits the bill fucking perfectly. That being said,
can I give you some cool smaller game announcements that were really exciting?
Hold on, we're still on fucking Capcom.
Okay,
Eric.
okay,
we're still on Capcom. Still on Capcom. Hold the fucking phone. Hold the phone. Capcom, like Okami and Onimusha being at the same show, weirdly enough, gave me a sense of hope that fucking anything is possible. Like if we could get a fucking Okami sequel, we can get a sequel to fucking.
I felt really good that night, and I was in one of the darkest places in my life I've ever been, and I still felt pretty good that night.
Yeah, and so Capcom, do the right thing. Bring Dino Crisis back for Jaw. Like, let that man fucking.
Don't do it for Jaw. Do it for the rest of us at this point.
Do it for
put us out of our misery.
Jaw is the longest suffering human being I know, and he deserves peace. Let him rest.
No other
Capcom.
human in history has suffered as much as Jaw has.
Let him rest. Let him find peace. That's another thing I just saw in chat from RAR. Fucking, where the fuck is Mega Man? Like
Mega Man's coming. Give it time.
Mega Man 11 came out in what, 2013?
It took them a really long time. I will be curious what the story is. It took them a really long time to get started on the whatever it is they've got in development right now, but there's a Mega Man game that's in the works. Something's up.
Here's what I think. Here's what, to be honest, like all my jokes.
There was a new Mega Man game on the Capcom leak ages ago. We know something's in the works.
Yeah. But here's what I think it is. And Sam, you tell me if you think I'm wrong. I think given their history of remastering and bundling Mega Man games, I think the Legends 1 and 2 games are next. For the fucking, like, hey, here's the remastered games. You can get 1 and 2.
I think we're gonna see this new game before we see Legends 1 and 2.
Yeah,
and it's gonna be something new. It's not gonna be a Mega Man 12 or an X whatever.
Legends 3.
It's not gonna be Legends 3. It's gonna be Mega Man, new subtitle. It's a new sub series. Hopefully, it's gonna be.
You know what I would love to see? Did you guys know? And there's actual footage and like pictures of this. Mega Man was working in a first-person Metroid Prime style
retro
Mega Man
was
game. Retro was I would love to fucking see that idea come back.
Maybe. I don't know that I was super in love with that footage, but
no,
it was
but
an
that
idea.
Concept.
Yeah, it was an idea.
But like,
just room to work.
Just like the concept. But yeah, no, I think Capcom absolutely fucking dominated the show. Now, granted, you have to have certain tastes in order to say that Capcom dominated the show. If you don't like
good games,
games like Okami or then yeah, I can't help you. But I think Capcom was the clear fucking winner here.
Can we talk about another, maybe the number 2 winner of the night? I think I know what you're gonna say. I think it was Sega. I think Sega showed the fuck up, and in particular, Ryuga Gotoku Studio showed.
As soon as you said Sega, I knew that you were.
Well, because they came in with, first off, a new Virtua fighter, which rips. Project Century, which I thought at first was like, oh, are we doing like post-war Yakuza? And it's even more interesting. It's pre-war. It's 1910s Japan with a.
It's the Meiji Restoration.
Yeah, with a different, like, and it looks so interesting, so fascinating. And given RGG Studios, here's the thing, Grant, is
Derek will remember this, Grant.
No, because most of the games I think would be extremely difficult to play for a lot of disabled people, even with like accessibility controllers. They're not very accessibly designed games. They're pretty difficult. And I think that the newer ones, the
Like
Ichiban led ones
The
are
turn-based,
better
yeah.
since they're a turn-based menu-driven RPG. But like the
Well, and
classic
they said
Yakuza
that
games are
those
hard.
games, those games are going to stay turn-based, right?
But they're playing with different gameplay styles. But like the classic Yakuza games are hard action games that require some pretty stiff execution. But like I think that RGG Studios storytelling is there's some of the boldest storytellers in the gaming space, in the big gaming space. And I'm really curious to see what they do with a story set in this time frame of Japan. So we get new Project Century. We get Virtua Fighter. We got a new God, John, you would be such a fucking, you would be so Yakuza pilled, man. But we got a new Sonic racing game. And Sonic All-Stars Racing.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that shit.
Sonic All-Stars Racing Transformed is one of my favorite kart racers ever. Like it's
is that
up
fucking
there.
is that fucking Tarek in chat there?
It could be, I don't know.
He said he's a lawyer. Tarek is a lawyer.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yes, it
What's
is.
up,
Hi,
bud?
Tarek.
Holy shit.
What's up, man? Holy fuck. Dude,
Cam,
Tarek, my man.
Cam, here's the thing. It's not Sonic Riders, but I would actually be like, I want Sonic R2. I want Sonic R2. But I love that we've got a new Sonic racing game. I love that RGG Studio showed the fuck up. RGG Studio doing Virtua Fighter's crazy to me. I love that. The main takeaway of tonight is, John, please play Yakuza 0.
I
don't know what I have to do.
Derek, here's the problem, dude.
I've
There's so
asked
many
you to play
fucking
it, so
games.
you're not gonna. That's the problem.
I've got to replay these old JRPGs I've played. 10
John,
times
you're such a
before.
fucking
Like-
brat. You won't.
I'm just saying. No, Tarek. I have not played Alan Wake 2 yet.
You
Brittany is
fucking
already
bitch.
Brittany is already up my ass about it. I'm getting to it.
For
I
fuck's
know,
sake,
it's just-
indeed, John.
I'm a disappointment.
If
I
you
know,
put
I know.
away
Here's the
even
thing.
one JRPG a year, you would find so much joy in new
here's the thing.
experiences.
Here's the thing. Fuck new experiences. Here's the thing. What? I'm not here for new experiences. Here's the thing about Sega for me at the Game Awards.
Sure. None of it was for
I
you.
don't share. No, it's not that.
No, I mean, I was going to say
It's-
that's fair, though, right? Like, none of it was for
Like,
you, and that's
well,
fair.
It's not that it was for me. It's just that I was really hoping to see some of those, like the new Crazy Taxi, the new Shinobi, the new Jet Set
Oh, yeah,
Radio.
would love to have seen more of
And-
those, for sure.
And we didn't get any of that stuff. And we know it's coming. I know Sega's working on it. That's fine. I really thought that this might be, yes, RAR, I do got to be right back to play Final Fantasy VI again. Yes, I do. As a matter of fact, RAR. In fact, just to stick it to RAR, I'm going to drop everything I'm playing right now and replay Final Fantasy VI starting tonight. So thank you, RAR. But I'm not going to do that. Not yet, anyway.
Can I tell you?
But no, I was a little disappointed to see to not see. And I guess Derek, maybe you're right. Maybe it's because just none of it was for me. But I recognize that people are really excited about a new, like, I don't know, like, what's it called? Like Project what?
Project Century?
Project Century, right? Like, I get people are excited about it. And that's cool. I am legitimately happy for people who are happy. So
It's so funny
That's
to
my
me
take
because
on it.
I just know that if you like got into Yakuza, it would inflame every cell of manliness in your body. Can we?
Do you really want that to happen?
It might be interesting to see. Can I talk about 3 of the biggest things there that somehow none of
My
the
left
three of
and
them
right biceps.
somehow none of them excite
two of
me,
them.
but I know they're going to be some of the biggest games ever.
Sure.
And I'm curious about y'all's feelings about all of these. The first is Borderlands 4. I cannot bring myself to
what?
care.
You know what?
Go ahead,
Go
John.
ahead, Sam. No, Sam. You first.
No, please, you. You know what? I enjoy playing the Borderlands 3 and Tiny Tina's Wonderlands as like a co-op game that I'm not paying attention to while I talk to a friend or three. So like I can see myself doing that with Borderlands 4 again. I'm not invested in the story and world.
Yeah, it's gonna be huge.
And I have friends who are, and I respect the hell out of them for that. But for me, it's just like, okay, yeah, cool. Something else that I can hold down the trigger and get funny guns. You know, like I'm fine with that. I'm okay with that. Derek, don't do that. don't do that.
Here's the thing.
Bangs down, bad look.
Uncomfortable.
Incel energy.
Randall Pitchfork sucks. Right?
Oh yeah, Randy can suck
sucks.
a fuck.
That said, I put hundreds and hundreds of hours in Borderlands 2. It is one of the
Everyone
most
did.
enjoyable
Every human being. You can find
it is one of the most enjoyable co-op experiences I've ever had. And if Borderlands 4 can recapture the magic that I think Borderlands 3 didn't have, if it can recapture that 2 magic, I'm all in. I'm all in.
You could climb the mountains of Nepal and find a 70-year-old man who's been living in a hut his whole life, and he's put a few hundred hours into Borderlands too.
That game is it's just a great fucking video game.
Yeah.
And I thought 3 was just too cringy for me. Sure. Like I thought 3 just lost that fucking 3 was way too self-aware, Sam, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, I get it. Totally.
And I want 4 to recapture that Borderlands 2 magic. And I think if it can, here's the thing, it's Borderlands, it's gonna sell. People are gonna play it. And I want it to be as good as 2 was. That's all I'm asking for.
This is me recognizing I'm the one who's out of lockstep with popular opinion here, right? All 3 of these, I am like recognizing these will be huge, and they're just not going to be for me. Because the next one is The Witcher 4, which like.
Oh, Derek, this is where I go.
Well, that's the thing. Again, this is not me saying it's bad.
I hope they fix that combat.
Y'all hear something? This must have been the wind. Sorry, Derek, go ahead. I didn't mean to.
No, I was just going to say, like, part of it's that I never played The Witcher 3, right? Like, I played Witcher 1 and... I know, what? I played Witcher 1 and 2, and I just never got around to playing 3. Somehow, the number of people who played Witcher 3 but did not touch the first 2, and I'm one of the only people in existence who is the inverse. I played 1 and 2 and never touched 3.
All right, you get 1 point. Wow. You get 1 point for that because most people genuinely have not touched the first.
I don't even like The Witcher, and I played The Witcher 3.
I'm a weirdo. It's on the to-do list. It's just a big long game. But yeah, The Witcher 4. So like that's the thing. Is like The Witcher 4. I feel like this series found a lot of its current identity in the third game.
Oh, absolutely.
Because series.
No.
But The Witcher 4. So it's like it's hard for me to be super into The Witcher 4 because like I didn't play The Witcher 3 and I'm out of it narratively, and like a lot of the identity is different now.
Honestly,
from
this
the
might be
weird
the jumping in point for you because Geralt is not the protagonist anymore.
Sure,
so,
but
like,
people say that they like The Witcher 3 a lot, so I should check it out.
Well, one, you should play The Witcher 3 because it's just a good game, but you should also play The Witcher 3 because Ciri she's not the main character, but she is the secondary protagonist in that game.
Well, and it has a good story in its own right? So
it's a very good story in its own right, but also like, I mean, I'm not going to spoil it here for you now, but like a lot of what that game does is setting Ciri up for the future. And again, I ate crow when we watched this live. I'm genuinely surprised that they're doing Ciri as the protagonist. And
you were like convinced there's no way.
Because she is like, okay, spoilers for a 2015 game. She's ludicrously powerful. But like,
that's what I heard. Yeah,
they'll figure something out.
But if they can find a way to ground it and like have, and
look, they're gonna
Sam,
they're gonna Samus her. She's gonna lose all her powers at the beginning. You gotta go find them.
I mean, probably something to that respect, but like her new design, the idea of Ciri as a Witcher, like all the stuff they showed in the trailer, like I'm all for it. I'm all for it. Just feed it directly into my veins.
Sam, looking at her designs, clearly some time has passed, some considerable time between Witcher 3 and 4.
Oh
She's
yeah,
a good deal older now.
A couple decades, I'd say.
Yeah, like it's been some time.
But like The Witcher 4 is going to be one of the biggest games fucking ever.
Yes.
There's just no way around that. And then the third,
it is.
The third, like this should be huge, and I don't think it's going to be for me at all.
Well, hold on, Derek. Before I do have a question for Sam.
Yeah,
sure.
About the Witcher 4. When do you see this coming out, and how long do you think it's been in development?
So it's been okay. So well, we actually know exactly. Like, I will give props to CD Projekt Red. They have been very transparent about like literally breaking down what their staff are working on ever since everything that happened with Cyberpunk. They've been very. They have reorganized their company structure. They've been very transparent about how all this stuff works. So it's been in pre-production since 2022. It just entered full production back in November. It's now like not all hands, but like most hands are now on deck. That being said, it's still a good couple years away. I think it gets announced for 2026, but then slips and like is more of a spring 2027, summer 2027. It's got some ways to go. It's not a cyberpunk situation, but it'll have a ways to go for sure.
I think you're probably right about that. And I definitely think I think they have to ship this game as bug free as possible. Like, it's not going to be bug free, but after the debacle that was
it's got to be in better
launch,
shape. It's okay for there to be some issues.
Sure.
That's just modern games, right? Like, it can't be in anything close to Cyberpunk's shape.
No,
it can't be. And granted, like, full credit to CD Projekt Red, they fixed Cyberpunk, but it should never have launched in that state.
Sure, yeah.
And they can't allow that to happen with The Witcher 4.
Right.
Derek, go ahead.
Third game that's going to be huge and probably will not be for me. Elden Ring Night Rain. FromSoft announced. At first, we thought this is like a massive expansion of some kind to Elden Ring again. We weren't sure what we were looking at. We just knew it was Elden Ring related. And then we saw the Nameless King. And then we saw the Centipede
King.
And then we saw the Firekeeper and the Centipede Demon. And it was like, okay, what the fuck is happening here?
Is this the Dark Souls multiverse?
So basically what it is, John, if you haven't paid much attention since, because we've learned a little bit more about the game, it is explicitly a like co-op online, basically like boss rushy type like asset mash of this is clearly not like this is something that's I'm sure going to feel very big.
Me a little bit.
That's the thing, right? I'm sure it's going to be very big and polished, but it is clear that this is being made as a way I feel like this is a way for Bandai Namco to try to make some money off of as little work as possible and the Elden Ring name. This doesn't feel like a move that FromSoft would do on their own. This feels like Bandai Namco going, Elden Ring is got some brand identity. What if you guys threw a bunch of this other shit you have together and made an online game that people can play?
It's such a weird design choice. You can play one player or three players.
Yeah, so
you can't play two players.
That's the other thing.
What?
You didn't know that, Derek?
What if I only have one friend and I don't have two friends?
Then
you're shit out of fucking luck.
Screw you. And also Derek,
that's real.
On top of that, they've also confirmed there's not going to be any crossplay. So the combination of those two have me very like, I'm not liking this. I'm not like, I'll absolutely still try it, but I'm it's a couple of
it's like I said, instead of being built like for people who loved like Dark Souls and Elden Ring, right, and other FromSoft games, the slow, methodical sense of like exploration of finding things and incorporating them into your build is what draws you to these games. And Elden Ring Night Rain is this like faster, like straight to the action, random loot, like online, almost like class-based, like with like kits and loadouts. Like, it's not anything like what people who love this series would come looking for, which is not to say that people won't like it. In fact, I bet it's going to be pretty big, but it almost certainly isn't going to be for me.
Yeah.
So
I just like the see, I didn't know about the crossplay, but Derek, I love your genuine reaction to learning that it's one or three players, not
that's
one,
an
two,
insane person choice.
I've
heard, I fucking dare them to make less sense.
Oh, it's so good. Oh, it's so good. Can we talk for a minute about Edgy Pac-Man?
Oh my God, yes. Let's get into the smaller. Let's get into the smaller games, of which
Can we talk about Dark Pac-Man?
Edgy Pac-Man has to be the first fucking thing we bring up. What was it called? What was the name of that?
Right now. Dark Pac.
I
Hold on, I'm
remember
just Googling
seeing
Dark Pac-Man.
the clips of the secret level episode, right? The Amazon Prime like anthology series, and the Pac-Man episode is this weird edgy...
Shadow Labyrinth.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Shadow
this
Labyrinth.
Shit is turning me into the Joker. I can't believe we have Pac-Man Act 0. What the fuck? And there are people out there who think, you know what? Ironically, this is kind of funny and I like it. No, this is wrong. This is bad, and you should feel bad for thinking this is funny. This sucks, guys. This
It's
sucks.
pretty funny.
Listen to this.
It's pretty
No.
funny.
Even better
Sucks.
is the synopsis. No, Derek. Even better is the synopsis for the game. Are you ready for this?
No.
Are you ready for this?
No, I'm not.
Players will take on the role of a different character's protagonist, Swordsman number 8, following the events
No.
introduced in the secret level. Listen, hold on. Introduced in the secret level animated short.
The events.
They will find themselves on an alien planet still ravaged by war and monsters, and will come across Puck. Listen to this.
No.
Puck, who explains the need to eat their way out of the hostile alien world, consuming everything in their path to become the planet's apex predator.
Sean, look at me. Look at me. I'm in genuine
This is
distress.
fucking awesome.
Do you see
No,
how glassy
fuck
my
it.
eyes are?
Fuck it.
John, this is
fantastic.
real. This is real. This shouldn't exist.
Pac-Man is gonna pull a gun and fuck. This game.
This belongs in a museum.
Pac-Man is going to fuck or get fucked or both in this game. Like, there's absolutely pack sex happening here, dude. He's gonna pull out his pack dick, and
if I never have to hear the phrase "pack dick" ever in my life, it will.
He's gonna gobble that shit.
I'm John. It's a real shame that I've been through a genuine crisis recently, and I have to tone down the darkness of my humor because
No, you don't
man,
have to tone it down. Pac-Man and Mrs. Pac-Man are gonna fuck doggy style in this game. I guarantee it.
Dog, I promised you I was still going to be here for Christmas next year, and this game makes me want to go back on that promise. Like Fuck.
Pac-Man's going ass to mouth in Secret Labyrinth, dude. I guarantee it.
They have envisioned the worst world.
You
and
never
I have
go
to
ass to
respect that.
mouth.
You only in certain positions, only in certain situations,
No,
Derek,
you
when
never go
passions
ass
are
to
running
mouth.
high, are you
don't-
allowed to go ass to
You
mouth?
never
It is
go ass
sometimes,
to mouth.
every now and then, it can be permissible if the situation calls for it. Okay. Oh shit! No, Delaby's right. That needs to be drafted on our fantasy league.
Fantasy Critic
On our
is
Fantasy
going to
Critic
be
League.
insane.
His mouth can actually become an ass too. Like Tarek is right.
You just
Like-
turn him sideways, I guess. I don't know.
How does
We gotta
Pac-Man-
move
how does-
on. We can't do
No,
this.
but seriously, when is this coming out?
Hopefully never. You remember when
no,
that
Derek, it's a
tsunami
thing that's
happened
happening.
that like devastated Japan's economy and wiped several games from existence?
Derek, you just said that you were staying away from darkness.
Yeah, well,
But now he has to
Okay.
consume darkness.
So it's coming out in 2025.
I hope it's not.
While there is much more to reveal about this thrilling new adventure, astute fans will find early hints of connections to other iconic games in the reveal trailer. I love this line here, Derek. Bandai Namco admits the game is a broad departure from any previous.
No, do you
Pac-Man
fucking
game.
think? Do you think, bud?
You know what?
Are you sure?
You got us, guys. We admit this is kind of a departure from classic Pac-Man. We admit. But Derek, I also want to talk about the fucking 2D pixel goddamn Ninja Gaiden.
Oh, yo,
That's coming
Ninja
out.
Gaiden,
Yeah.
Ninja Gaiden Rebound. When I saw that, first I thought, is this like a new Tenchu? Maybe. But
I
Tenchu's,
thought it was a Messenger sequel at first.
well, at first it was because we saw it was Tecmo Koei. Tenchu's Tecmo Koei, right? No,
No.
it's
I thought they were.
Shit, I don't remember. Anyway,
I
think
didn't
it's
peg it for Ninja Gaiden.
yeah. But yeah, then I saw Ryu Hayabusa and I'm like, oh fuck, that's Ninja Gaiden. And then it was like a pixel like throwback by Dotemu, and I was like, I'm in, baby.
This looks like
baby.
This looks like everything I wanted the Messenger to be.
I love the Messenger.
was good.
I have no
The Messenger
complaints
was-
about the Messenger.
The Messenger was good. but it's not Ninja Gaiden.
This shit
And,
looks really fucking tasty, baby.
I want this shit to be hard as fucking nails. I want Ninja Gaiden games are supposed to be hard. I want the shit to be fucking difficult. I want to throw my Switch against the fucking wall playing Ninja Gaiden. I still cannot believe
John's like,
that
if
we're
I'm not
getting a
mad
new
enough
2D.
to put Derek in a pillowcase and slam him against the furniture.
If I am not angry enough to fill a pillowcase full of bars of soap and beat the shit out of Derek, then if this game doesn't get me angry enough to where like I drop an 8-ball and a sock and play 8-ball on Derek's fucking head, like then it's not for me. It's not for me. You know? That's all I gotta say.
Yeah,
I want you to know though, Derek, I would pull my punches for you. I would pull my punches for you.
the soap. I don't want to leave bruises.
Yeah, I would. Yeah, I would use the soap, not the fucking 8-ball.
What are some other small ones?
Not small, but like.
Oh.
Go ahead.
Oh no, you first, Sam. I want to hear what you were.
Mid-size. I would say this is a mid-size one. The Outer Worlds 2 is actually coming out next year.
Yeah.
Surprisingly. Which Obsidian's gonna put two RPGs out in the same year, which is astounding. So Derek, did you not? John, I know you didn't. Derek, did you play the first Outer Worlds?
No, I
need
didn't.
to.
Okay, you should.
I know I need to.
You both should. It's not a long game.
I like
it's
Oblivion.
30
I
hours.
do like their games. So.
Yeah. No, you can make it longer if you wanted, right, Sam? Like,
there are a couple of DLCs that you can pick up, and that'll make it a bit longer. But like, it's not going to take you a long time to get through it, and it's very fun. It's very Obsidian writing, which means you can talk your way out of anything and manipulate different factions against each other. It's a fun time. So I'm looking forward to seeing what they do with that again next year.
guys, we're forgetting about we got a sequel for another game that we weren't expecting. A sequel to The Long Dark.
Oh yeah, The Long Dark is one of those games I'm always surprised. I never think about how big the first game was. Right?
No, it was extremely popular.
Yeah,
extremely popular. I know it wasn't a horror game, but it also kind of was. I'm very interested to see what The Long Dark 2 has to. Yeah, okay. So Delaby brought up that soccer game, and it should have been fucking this should have looked like Shaolin Soccer, and it didn't, and I was really disappointed by that.
Yeah, people really should have been kicking the shit out of each other mid-match, but
so we do need to talk about Naughty Dog, actually.
Let's throw it out there. Let's throw it out there because it's time for another big one, and that was positioned as the biggest game announcement of the show. It was the final thing of the show. And
I love the retro 80s space aesthetic.
Yeah, Intergalactic the Heretic Prophet, which is a very video game name, if I'm going to be honest with you.
It's called, we couldn't trademark just the word intergalactic. That's what it was.
But look, here's the thing.
Did I see Kumail Nanjiani in the fucking trailer?
You absolutely did.
You absolutely did. He's like one of the bounty targets. Yeah.
I'm curious. I want to try this game, right? Like, I think there is a lot of weird cynicism about Naughty Dog games, like about The Last of Us, that like, I'm not going to say these games are free of criticism or anything.
No game is free of criticism.
Exactly. But like,
except Final Fantasy VI.
Feels like the like grump about Naughty Dog is a little performative.
Just get like, I mean,
and I think I'm curious to see what this game is. Do we even know who's leading the project?
So it
is directed by Druckmann. Okay, so I can understand why people who have issues with Druckmann specifically, where you'd bring that to the table, right? I think that's pretty reasonable. But like, a game is also more than one person, man. It's
the people that worked on it.
It's the whole Warren Spector quote, right? Of like, don't attribute a game to a single person, which is funny because I got hyped for a game just because Warren Spector's name was on it in this very show. We'll talk about that later. But I'm curious. I'm curious about Intergalactic: The Heretic Project. I want to see more of it. I bet I'll enjoy it.
You know what? Sam, go ahead, please.
I was going to say, here's the thing. I don't think you're incorrect, Derek, that there's a lot of unwarranted or performative cynicism. I think there is some valid criticism, but like I have plenty, but I'm not. We're not going to get into
Right.
that.
This ain't the
What
right.
I will. What I will
not the
say.
place.
What I will say about this, and this isn't Naughty Dog's fault per se. It is kind of Sony's fault because they made them like do The Last of Us Online, and then they worked on that for years, and then that got canceled. But I am a little The Last of Us-ed out.
For sure.
I am very happy that this isn't The Last of Us.
It's a new
Part
thing,
3.
right?
I was
Sam.
I was going to say the same thing.
I'm very happy to see something new. We obviously don't know a lot. The fact that they did not put a year on it tells me it is very firmly 2026.
Yes.
I would not expect this next year. Also, just Naughty Dog games tend to slip, but I like the idea of them doing something a little more lighthearted. I like the idea of them doing something retro futuristic, and it almost seemed like it was more of a focus on melee combat, which
Yes.
like I'm there for that. So yeah, I'm curious. I have a lot of questions, but I want to see more.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I am here's the thing. I am the Last of Us I'm the Last of Us 2 kind of like burnt out as well. Or not the Last of Us 2, but just that franchise in general. Like we'll see the Last of Us 3 eventually and I'll be excited for it, but the thing is this, like Naughty Dog games are good. They're good games. And like Naughty Dog hasn't made a bad game. Naughty Dog hasn't made a bad game since fucking that 3DO fighting game. What the fuck was that called? Wave the Warrior or some shit? It was a terrible fucking
Wave
fighting
the
game on
Warrior,
3DO.
yeah.
Was it Wave the Warrior? Terrible
Wave-
fucking
yep.
game. Terrible fucking game. But Naughty Dog doesn't fucking miss. They make good fucking games, and I am extremely excited. And Sam, I'm with you. I'm just glad this isn't either Uncharted or The Last of Us again. Like spread your fucking wings. And
I'd be slightly more receptive to Uncharted, but either one. Just I'm happy it's something new. I'm happy. It's something new.
So am I. So I think this is a 2027 game personally. I don't think this is coming out in 2026. And I definitely kind of like on that topic to loop back to Okami real quick because we neglected to mention one thing.
Mm-hmm.
That game's not coming for years.
Oh yeah, that motherfucker. That
absolutely.
could not have even begun pre-production until a couple of months ago.
No, they said it's entering production. Well,
that's what I'm saying. It's like it might have been in pre-production as of
Yeah.
like a month or two ago.
I would not be surprised if the only assets existing
because
for that game
remember,
were that trailer.
Kamiya was under a non-compete clause until
Right.
only a couple of months ago, which means that
Yeah.
he has had no time flat to actually get Clovers together, get the agreements signed with Capcom, because he can't even be in pre-negotiations until
Non-competes are brutal.
Yes, they are.
That motherfucker is a long way away.
Yeah.
It's a long way away.
Yes, it is.
For sure.
Anyway,
I would like, if you guys don't mind, I would like to talk about what wasn't there.
Sure.
What was
I
not
mean-
at the Game Awards. And I think the big one for me is, right off the bat, is Square.
I would say there's two
we
big
didn't
things missing. There was basically nothing Square and there was nothing Nintendo, and that's very
nothing
unusual.
Nintendo.
Sure.
Nothing Nintendo.
I would only
But it's
add
because
the-
there's some Nintendo stuff coming soon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
But here, that being said, Sam, you and I talked briefly before the Game Awards, and I think
Yeah.
we were both fairly sure that Metroid Prime 4 would show up.
Well,
If
I thought
there was
if
anything Nintendo.
showed up, if Nintendo
Yeah.
showed up, I thought it would be Metroid Prime 4 for sure because it just fits that vibe. But like, I'm not concerned about Metroid Prime 4 anymore.
No.
We know it's coming. It's very clearly like, okay. I thought maybe there was a chance Nintendo would be willing to give that another look at the Keeleys. Clearly, they're not. Clearly, they're going to save that for whatever the hell they do next year. So
yeah. So we had a question in chat. Has Nintendo announced anything at the Game Awards?
I
outside
remember
of
Bayonetta
Smash?
3 off the top of
I
my
remember
head. There
Bayonetta
have been
3.
others, but I don't remember.
There have been
them.
others. I can't remember what they were, but there have been
Bayonetta 3 is
others.
probably the highest profile game that they've announced and
Yeah.
released. That they've announced at the TGAs.
But there was like, we had the Final Fantasy VII Rebirth on PC, which, you know, like we all knew that was coming.
Cool.
We had Clive and Tekken. What, they'll put anybody but fucking Tifa in Tekken.
Put Kazuma
but-
Kiryu in Tekken. I swear to God.
But Clive, but outside of Final Fantasy VII Rebirth on PC and Clive and Tekken, I expected more from Square this show.
It just means we're going to see more later, I hope.
I mean, I
Ideally.
hope we know that I still think the next announcement from Square is going to be that Final Fantasy Tactics remaster we all
see.
know exists.
We'll see.
But I was definitely surprised that we didn't learn more about whatever Square's working on.
Yeah. Can I hit you?
It seems weird to me.
I know
Go
I
ahead.
mentioned this. I know I mentioned this on the show, but I'll mention it again here. I think it is common knowledge the Kingdom Hearts 4 team had to pause in order to help ship Final Fantasy 16, and so I think that probably has just thrown them back a little to the point where they're not ready to show something about that.
Well, and I agree with you, Sam. Like I think if any, like I think I had said, like if Square is here, it's going to be Kingdom Hearts 4.
Mm-hmm.
Also like Dragon Quest 12. Like I thought that might have a chance to show up as well.
That thing has been missing in action for a while.
It's kind of.
I would not be surprised if it was heavily complicated by Toriyama's health and passing.
Sure.
If his art direction was the, if he was directing art, like, yeah, I would not be surprised.
I think Del being chat a spot on though. I'm going to be controversial and say maybe the lack of Square and Nintendo is because they're showing stuff together. Switch
could
to
be. The other thing to remember is Dragon Quest traditionally those teams are not. Those games are made by smaller than you'd expect teams for long periods of time. Those are not massive teams crunching out games. Those are weirdly like medium-sized passion projects.
For sure.
Can I hit you with some more rapid fire stuff that was there and was very cool?
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, let's hear it.
So, I mentioned this earlier. It's not going to be for me, but I was very interested in it based purely on the fact that Warren Spector was involved. Thick as Thieves, that multiplayer, that multiplayer like competitive like thief game. It looks like an immersive sim, a competitive immersive sim, and that's very curious to me.
I'm down.
I'm not because I don't play these types of games. In terms of like online competitive type games mostly.
Sure.
But that's really curious, and I love seeing Warren Spector back in the game. I was huge into that Dispatch, that superhero game that kind of pulls from like Telltale, that looks very like Invincible, right?
Oh yeah,
I'm so into that, even if Aaron Paul and Laura Bailey had a truly horrible it was not good chewing the scenery before, which is a shame because I like both of them as actors, but
I love both
that
of
was
them.
a bad bit. Whoever wrote that bit, that was painful.
It wasn't a good bit.
Yeah.
But fortunately, I'm much more looking forward to their work on that game.
Yes. I mean, it's just like weird, quirky superhero comedy in a Telltale style. I'm into it.
But like a good twist of having it be like the office life, like corporate.
Yeah, you're the dispatcher. You're the.
Like,
it's
like
great.
That.
Be the fucking office admin. Y'all, Turok Origins.
Sure.
What the
I'm
fuck,
all in.
dog?
Sure.
Fuck it. I legit thought. Go ahead, Sam, please.
Saber's allowed to do anything. Yeah.
Yeah. They have the right energy.
I thought that was fucking Arc 2 for a moment.
We all did. We were like, is it time for Vin Diesel? Like,
I really did. Well, speaking of Arc 2, what the fuck ever happened to that?
Dude, there are entire journalism industries dedicated to figure out what the fuck is going on with Arc right now. It's best if we just don't.
Derek, did anything else get announced that we're glossing over? Anything of note?
Oh God. I mean, I swear there's so much. Hang on. Let me dig through again.
Joseph Ferris had another game which I don't really care about.
Oh yeah, Split Fiction. I think that's going to be fantastic. If you liked It Takes Two, guess what? It's that with a cool new gimmick. I'm in.
I find Joseph Ferris he exhausts me personally.
He does, but he's apparently a good dude and a good boss. So
I understand that.
I give him
he's allowed to be
exhaustion
cringe.
passes.
He's allowed to be cringe. Ueda's new game, Fumito Ueda's new game.
We saw a sign of life.
Ico, Shadow of the Colossus.
Another game that is still
forgot
years
about
away.
This
Another
one's
game that is still a long,
I got
long
serious but I got serious Shadow of the Colossus 5.
Yeah, I was like, this is Shadow of the Colossus, but you pilot the Colossus. Like that was my joke.
I might have to replay the Blue Point remake soon. Now that you've said that,
God, I just wish the Blue Point remake was better. But I digress.
What the fuck is wrong with you?
Dude, they stripped like all of the main protagonist's personality out of his animations.
I'll strip you of fucking life.
Do you mean it? I shouldn't make these
I
jokes.
might.
Jesus.
What else was there? I think that gets to the bulk of what I think were the big, there's a new Mafia. I just don't have opinions about that series, and it's kind of
I
niche.
couldn't care less.
But I think that's cool for people who are into it. I think this kind of gets the bulk of it out there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Derek, we got 5 minutes left. I do want to talk about something that I was made aware of last week, and I haven't had a chance to talk on the podcast yet, and this is really important to me.
Okay.
I want to have a serious discussion about Squirrel Girl.
Hell yeah, brother. I'm so glad I could do this. John, you listened to me. You listened to me tell you about my experience playing Marvel Rivals with Britt and her husband. And you were like, man, you sound like you're just pulling a Derek. And I was like, look up Squirrel Girl in Marvel Rivals. And you did.
Okay, so.
Thick thighs save lives, brother.
Why is Squirrel Girl thicker than a goddamn fucking Snicker? Like, what
Someone
happened,
had vision.
dude?
Someone had vision.
Someone is a fucking genius, is what it is.
It's funny that every other woman in the game is designed with the same, like, Korean MMO ass body type.
Yeah. Top star.
Right.
Yeah.
And then Squirrel Girl, they were just like, what if we put a fucking dump truck on this? What if we made the autistic bitch the biggest baddie in the game? Which honestly,
what's cool is being married to a woman who is built just like Squirrel Girl in Marvel Rivals. It's fucking great. I gotta tell you, it's really cool. But no, Squirrel.
What's wonderful is,
man?
John, I gotta tell you,
like,
if you, I found out the hard way, which is not bad. I'm not upset or anything. The hashtag Marvel Rivals on Blue Sky is going to get you 90% Squirrel Girl artwork at this point, man.
Really?
Marvel Rivals is the reason.
I gotta check.
Sam's like.
I genuinely really enjoyed the little bit of time I spent with Marvel Rivals. Now that I'm done with
God, somebody screen cap that just for Sam's visceral reaction there. Please screen cap that moment. That was, I know we got somebody who can screen cap. That was good.
I'm really enjoying Marvel Rivals. The little bit of time that I got to spend with it, I had to spend a bunch of time with Fantasian.
Why are we talking about the game? We're talking about Squirrel Girl. Why are we talking about the game, Derek? Why are we talking about the game?
Oh,
God. So
John,
hold on.
You can play Squirrel Girl in a game.
Hold on.
Why
would I play her? Why would I play her when I could just look at her? You're telling me that if I look up what on Blue Sky, if I just type in Squirrel Girl?
No. Oh,
what am I looking for? What am I looking for? What am I looking for? Hashtag Squirrel Girl?
It's funny. Should we be live while you do this, John? Are we going to get account banned?
No, I just want to look. Oh my Lord. Wow. Okay. I wasn't expecting some of this. That's a Santa.
What did you
That's a Santa outfit.
I told you, John, what to expect. Why would you not listen to me?
Yeah, but that's a Santa outfit. Jesus Christ. It's all squirrel. Okay, that's not appropriate. That is not that is also, I'm putting my phone down.
Yeah. But bookmarking.
I have to go, guys. End the podcast.
I think I'm going to be playing more Marvel Rivals over the next few days. I
want to try it.
So hit me up.
I'll try it.
Again, I was going to play with Britt a lot, and I just stopped because of Fantasian. And now Britt's out here getting MVP every fucking round, and I'm gonna be a fucking clown when I show up.
I mean, it's essentially like, it's Overwatch, but like Marvel.
It's Marvel Overwatch.
Like, that's what it is.
Yeah. It's Marvel Overwatch. But like, it's got really slick character design and really.
I didn't realize there was still a market for that kind of game still.
I think there is for ones that are, and that's what's interesting, right? Because like, just to take the couple of minutes we have left, Marvel Rivals. Obviously, having the Marvel brand attached to it is a huge value add, right?
Sure,
but plenty of Marvel-based games have not done well. Midnight Suns was incredible, and it did not do well, right? Marvel's Avengers was like the most focus-tested, we're chasing checkboxes ass game they could have made.
Yeah.
And it didn't do great. That Guardians of the Galaxy game was incredible, and it didn't do great. Marvel Rivals is working because I think there is a lot of hunger for games in this type. Like, that's a reason why Concord existed, right? Is like, people do want to be one of the games that hits. It's just really hard to be the one that hits. And Marvel Rivals seems to have managed, from a gameplay design and character like kit design and having the right source material that people can care about, but reinventing it in a very fresh way that has made it hit just right. And I think it's going to stick around. I really do.
I hope it does. You know, like I like. For
you just want to see
games,
what future fucking female characters will look like. You're like, man, if they could do this to Squirrel Girl.
I mean, what will they do to Psylocke? I mean, who
Psylocke's already
knows,
in there,
right?
She's in there.
Oh, she is. Oh,
John's like,
then, in that case,
Psylocke.
Well, in that case, what will they do to Invisible Woman? Like, who fucking knows?
Not put her in the game.
Probably not. But like, no, in all seriousness, like, I think it's great.
Fantastic Four could be one character. I'm not doing this right now. Sorry.
I think it's great that good games. I think it's great when good games do well.
Yes.
Even if they're not games for me, we should all celebrate a healthy gaming industry.
Yeah.
Derek, it's 10:30. We got to start wrapping shit up.
Oh yeah. Your boy's sleepy. I'm still not all the way better. So.
Yeah, we gotta wrap that shit up. Sam, always a pleasure, of course.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you for having me on.
Yeah.
We'll do the Game Awards again next year. Despite Derek's many protestations, we both know he'll be here. Yeah, he'll be here. Derek, you got anything? You got anything for the crowd before we may or may not be on next? Something
we'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. I got no show notes.
We'll do something. We'll
here.
Do something next week.
We're going to keep being here, unfortunately.
Next week is the last week of the year. We got our holiday party coming up soon.
Game of the Year show together.
We got to. Oh, motherfucker, dude. You're right. We do.
Man.
We'll do. You know what? That'll be in January. We'll do our Game of the Year show in January.
Let's not promise January. We'll figure it
No,
out.
I'll take the lead on that one.
Okay, we'll figure it out.
I'll take the lead on that one. We do have our holiday party coming up if you're in Discord. Derek, when is the date for the holiday party again?
I don't know. If you're in the Discord, it's on the calendar.
It's on the calendar.
It's cool how that works.
Yeah, we have a holiday party every year in the Discord. If you're not in there, you should. January 11th. Thank you, Rar. What the fuck are we gonna? What would we do in that Discord without Rar? He literally runs that fucking show.
I don't know.
January 11th. If you're in our Discord, if you're not in our Discord, you should join the almost 500 people in there and get your ass in there. It is a nice, progressive, heavily moderated community. We don't tolerate any bullshit. But it's a nice place to chill and talk about games or just post pictures of dogs and food and whatnot. So please feel free to join us. Derek, we got PAX coming up next year. I'm assuming you and I are going.
Multiple PAXs, yes, and I'll be at East and West for sure.
I'll be in. Yep, Finn will be there. So it's a little early to start talking about that, but just looking ahead to the fucking shit show that is going to be.
We're going to make the best out of a shitty year. We're going to do it.
Yep, we're going to try. We're going to try. All right, guys, take care of each other. Remember, kindness costs nothing, and we will see you in some form or fashion next week.